everybody, welcome to Easy Update. I've got Kyle here, and I don't know, I'm having fun with this recent little spat of video topics that we've been doing. So yeah, 2 weeks ago I had Damiani on to talk about the Dream Zelda. Then we talked about Nightmare Zelda. Now, this week I'm going to talk to Kyle Bosman about the Dream Pokemon game.
It's officially a series.
It's officially a series now.
Mm-hmm.
Dreams and Nightmares and Dreamscapes, to take a phrase from the Stephen King lexicon. That was the name of his book of short stories, I believe.
Dreamscapes.
Never read it, but it was on my dad's bookshelf, I recall. But yeah, what do you think would be the best Pokemon game?
So obviously I have a lot of thoughts about this.
Yeah, I'm anxious to hear them.
Do you know what I wish I could show you right now?
What?
Is some concept art for the first Pokemon game. So I'll just try to explain it as best as I can.
Okay.
It's a shop. It is the interior of a shop, and the things this guy is selling are gross. So just imagine like a dingy market, right?
Okay.
And it's just like an onion hanging from the ceiling, and just like sacks of like goo, and like bowls of goo and jars of goo. Mm-hmm. And that is where they started with this.
Okay. Wait, this is legitimately where they started?
Some concept art for the original
before
Pokemon
the
game.
original Pokemon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I look at that image and it like inspires me sometimes. It's like, wow, this is like, they had huge, broad ideas for this. So, the ideal Pokemon game, I guess we'll start here, Ian.
Okay.
There is not a big city with big buildings.
Okay. Are we thinking top down? Or are we thinking 3D like the new ones? What I want to know how to picture what you're about to describe.
The camera is behind our shoulder.
Okay.
So it is a 3D camera.
Third person.
Yes.
And we can control the camera, I assume.
Yes, with the right analog stick.
Yes, okay.
Yep. Yes. So everything is to scale, basically, is what I mean by there's no huge building. So, like, you can have a huge building, right?
But
that
it's a huge building.
Yes, that it exists in this world, and it's not like this thing that we can't enter, and it's not like there's just a chunk of the city that is just there to look at. It's like everything that is in this world is explorable.
Right.
That is my ideal Pokemon game, is exploration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, quote unquote, modern day Breath of the Wild. So there'd be buildings, there'd be people, there'd be stuff you could do, but you could go anywhere into all of it, interact with all of it.
Right. And there are hundreds of people. Like every person you can talk to.
Right. And do some of them have Pokemon and some of them don't? And yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's not. Do you know what I think is like, I look at it and it's like, man, that's actually kind of gross. It's when there's like an RPG where the people in the city are just like silhouettes, just like blank faces, like they don't even color them in.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not humanity. You can't look at humans that way.
Wait, does that happen in earlier Pokemon games?
No.
Oh.
But this is just a philosophy thing.
Right.
So every NPC, we're dreaming here.
Yeah. Every
NPC has a unique face.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Too far. You've gone too far. Game Freak can't handle it.
I know. This is my dream.
Because, I mean, just so we understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
You've played every Pokemon game probably under the sun, like, inside and out. I've played Let's Go Eevee and Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
And I'm going to play Sword.
But you played RPGs. You know what lets you up.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, my experience, is Let's Go Eevee, where there are, like, 7 different people.
Yes.
Just repeat it over and over again.
Right.
And I assume from that that's just how Pokemon is.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this guy's a hiker and this guy's a juggler.
He's the cook.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I think that it's possible if the number of NPCs is just what it was back in Let's Go days, or Red and Blue. You know what I mean? Like, it's
yellow.
It's not that many NPCs.
Sure.
And so I think that it's doable.
Yeah.
If you scale down like that. And so that's my dream, is to scale down to scale up, basically.
I'm thinking that, like, Breath of the Wild didn't have that many NPCs. Like, for the size of that world, it had a manageable number of NPCs. Mm-hmm. But they were all kind of up to stuff. Not as much as, like, Skyrim or whatever, where they have, like, schedules and they go to work and everything. But, like, they were, like, doing stuff most of the time, if I remember.
There were an amount of, like, unique faces.
Yeah.
People with business. That's what I love.
I mean, they all had a unique face, I think.
Yes.
I don't know.
Right.
They
There's
probably
probably
actually
some
no,
people who go
they
to the
look-
horse plant,
Yeah, they
yeah.
all probably look a little similar, but yeah, that's great.
Yep. I want. So, like, we're already talking about villages. It's like, why is villages important? It's because the journey's important.
Yeah.
And I just want us to be driven to get all 8 badges.
Yeah.
There's a lot of. So, a lot of people just name their Pokemon characters themselves.
Right.
There's not a lot of character in Pokemon, and I think that's actually okay.
I actually have a question about this.
Okay.
Character creator or assigned male-female character as Sword is and Shield.
Wait, what?
Like, can you
don't,
make
they don't assign a character for you.
Well, I mean, oh no, in Sword and Shield you can like change like hair color and stuff, right?
Yeah,
okay, yeah. So there is a rudimentary character creator.
Yeah.
And would that be in this one too?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think your protagonist would still be silent, but I think what you can't give when you do that is they try to make more and more epic stories.
Right.
And so I think you can't have your silent protagonist also be the hero of the universe, and also just nod with like a goofy nod.
Yeah.
I'm okay with our goofy nod, just no universal scheme.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with the universe right now. We don't have to save it. We
Hang on
just
a
want 8
second.
badges. What?
Huber. Okay. Go.
That was a scolding if you didn't pick up on what just happened. So yeah, there's no life world threatening issue in this entire game.
And you want that. You
I
want
want
there
that.
to not be
That is
a
my
life
dream Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's no like meteor about to destroy Gaia or anything.
Well, it's always a Pokemon.
Well, right.
All the Pokemon games you missed, there's some Pokemon that is being abused in order to take over the world.
Oh, okay. Because yeah, that's not going on in Eevee.
Yes. Right. Exactly.
In yellow,
Yes.
I guess, is the equivalent to Let's
Yeah.
Go Eevee and Pikachu, right?
Yeah.
Pikachu. Yeah, so I was unaware that that was even a trope.
It's happened a lot since then.
In my experience, it's just like Team Rocket is like sometimes showing up and they're hapless.
And I think we can have that. I think we can still have Team Rocket in the Dream game.
Did they stick around? Are they in every game?
No, but there's always a team. There's a team blank.
Sure, okay.
It gets dumb. It gets really, really dumb. It's Team Yell in the new one.
Team Yell.
Team Yell.
Bad name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a take on it, but it's just out of the obligation of like, okay, well, we have to have a team. And just like a lot of Pokemon just feels so obligated right now that
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want Team Rocket in it.
What about this? What
Okay.
about like moral complexity?
And you're talking my language.
Like Team Rocket in this one, you know, it seems like they're bad guys, but you find out later there's way more going on. And like they're doing bad stuff, but for good reasons or something. Like they're trying to save the environment or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Like that could be interesting.
Okay.
And you can like make a choice.
If we have a unique take on Team Rocket, then yes.
I think, or you know, whatever that team, the rival team, whoever.
It's Team Rocket or nothing. I don't want a team blank.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, that's my vibe. I like
Okay.
Team Rocket. They're
Great.
classic.
Yeah, they have
Jesse and James all the way.
They have nice
That's
costumes.
their names, right? Jesse and James. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice costumes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have just like a strong branding, right? When you think of like Team Magma, it gets weaker.
Yeah.
Their branding.
For sure.
So yeah, Team Yell, strong branding. So
I hope the name Team Yell will be okay for me if every line of dialogue a member of that team says
Is
is
all
all
caps?
caps.
it might be though.
If they're all just yelling constantly.
what if they really are though? You're not gonna like that.
It'll be, at least it'll be something.
It'll be
a
something.
reason to be
Right.
called Team Yell.
Yeah. It'll be
A ridiculous name for a team.
It's a take. I want you to have basically loyalty missions to earn your Pokemon.
Uh-huh.
I want them to not love you immediately. I want you to have to earn the trust and love of your Pokemon.
Very cool. Okay.
Yeah, and so
Are they as involved as Mass Effect, or are they?
that's what I kind of want. And so like I don't want it to be like catch 'em all. I don't think that's the point of this game at all.
Okay. Wow, this is bold.
If you see a Pokemon you like, you have to just earn its trust, and then you have that Pokemon, and you never feel like, oh, I need to replace it. It's getting too weak. Its level is too low.
Sure.
You just love that Pokemon, and you care about seeing it through to the end of the game.
I like that idea. So, how many Pokemon do you end the game with in your imagination?
I guess 6. But
Just the 6.
I mean, like you probably still replace them. You probably be like, oh, this new thing is cool. Like it's not like you're locked in.
Because I mean, that's the whole gameplay loop of Pokemon is catching them all.
Yeah.
This is a bold take.
To me, the gameplay loop is playing an RPG. The gameplay loop is the adventure.
Interesting.
It's the leveling up, learning new moves, and accomplishing things.
Okay. The Michael Huber in my mind is screaming, but the dopamine of catching all the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Of catching a new Pokemon.
Yeah, like to me,
And trading. And 2 copies for some reason
yeah.
of the game.
I don't know if we're doing 2 copies in my dream game.
Ooh. I like that too. It's a little ludicrous that people put up with it, honestly.
Yeah. I don't know if we're doing that. I mean, we can. We're not going to focus too hard on the meta. We're not going to focus too hard on how the battle system works when it's 1v1, when you're playing an actual person.
Okay.
I care way more about like how difficult it is inside of this world, how hard it is to take this person down or take that person down.
That's actually, you said how hard, and like my experience with Eevee was that game was incredibly easy.
Right.
Will this game be hard? Will it have difficulties?
I think so. Difficulties is interesting. So like when you start, it's like
classic difficulty or like modern. I don't know how you'd phrase it without pissing people off.
yeah.
Like easy, normal, hard, but
I mean, why not? I guess let's do it. I guess we're making a dream game. Why not just give it difficulties? Okay, let's do that.
I'd play on normal.
Sure.
But I'd want normal to be challenging.
Normal will be challenging, and you don't get a special thing for beating it on hard.
Sure.
There's no
it's just
trophy
how,
or achievement.
Yeah,
it's just
what do
like you
wanna
just
do?
chose that.
Well,
because
if it's
you
on
want a harder
Switch,
game.
there wouldn't be achievements anyway.
Yep. But yeah, like I don't want it to be like, oh, if you beat it on hard, you get this cool thing. Like that to me
Right.
implies that hard is the right way to play through it.
Right.
So yeah, just difficulty is
Unless
just there.
you get a different thing for each difficulty that are all equally cool.
The easy is the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like super good and
Yeah.
awesome and has like really awesome story implications. Okay. All right. But hey, are there still all the, because people are upset that not all the Pokemon are in this one, which I imagine is like 1,000 or something right now.
We're getting up there.
How many are all the Pokemon in the universe in this game? Like, could you pick from 900 whatever
No.
and take the 6 you want?
Not in my dream Pokemon game, no. And so I wonder how we handle that, Ian. One of my favorite Pokemon games is Black and White, which has 150 new Pokemon
Okay.
and 0 old Pokemon up until you get to the credits.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, you play through this entire game with all new Pokemon, and I would love to. You know what? It's my dream. We're doing it. 150 new Pokemon.
To me, the easy way to like story justify it, that I don't know if they're using that for the Galar region or whatever, but like, did I say that right? Galar?
Galar?
Galar? Michelle Galar?
Rachel Galar.
Rachel? Oh, because
Rachel.
they got Rachel. Anyway, Monica and Ross. That's what I was, whatever. But new area is like the justification that you could use. And I don't know if they're using that for this one, but like all those old Pokemon, they're from that other region.
Yeah, that's what
They
they
don't
use.
they don't live over here.
That's what they do, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So like that's the easy thing to do is just like, yo, we're like way out here.
Yeah.
We're in Australia
Oh, that'd be fun.
or wherever.
Yeah.
We're on Mars. Mm-hmm. Like those other Pokemon, they can't breathe up here.
Yeah. So stuff that Pokemon scratches at occasionally, but then leaves and sometimes abandons for years, is origins of Pokemon. And then when it does answer those questions, it's incredibly unsatisfying. But this idea that Clefairy came from the moon
Right.
is incredible.
Yeah.
The idea
I've even heard of that.
yeah, Staryu and Starmie came from space.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
But it's just like, and we accept that.
Yeah.
There's not,
It hints at a larger universe outside of this planet.
yes, that there are Pokemon in space.
Yeah.
There are probably people, there are other planets out there, people who like train and master those Pokemon. But like, it bothers me that there's no scientist in the world who is driven mad trying to figure out where Starmie's from. And so that exists in this world, in my dream Pokemon game.
There are characters like being driven by passion and driven mad by their own passions in your game.
Yes. Who are actively trying to figure out what's going on in this world. A lot of people kind of just accept it and roll with it, which is fun. The first 2 towns, absolutely. But we need like one person who's like, what's happening here?
Yeah.
By
But
the third town.
Would it be like a joke where it's like, they're like, what's going on? This is strange. Don't you find this weird? And everyone else is just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the ESRB rating for this game? Your dream game?
It's still E.
Okay,
It's still
good.
E.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I was
We're not
gonna
going,
leave it
like,
up to you,
dark.
but
We're-
yeah.
Like Pokemon touches darkness in ways that I actually appreciate.
Weird ways.
Yes.
Like Cubone comes to mind.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so I think that we can still touch our darkness within our E rating and still
Yeah.
have a game that means something.
If
while
anything, it
still-
makes it feel more sinister.
Yes. Yeah. Like most like ghost Pokemon entries are like awful. They just
read
like,
it and you're
carry
like,
children away into woods and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Poltergeist, dude. Poltergeist. I'm so excited.
Yeah, and with ghosts, I want them to be creepy. I want that creepy element of the game big time.
Yeah.
I want you to believe in Pokemon myths when you're playing through this story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think that's kind of missing. You want to believe that it's possible for one of these children NPCs to be taken away into the woods by a Pokemon.
Maybe it happens.
Maybe that happens, yes.
Yeah.
And like you go to stop it, but it's like already happened. That
It's
child's
gone. Yeah, it's too late.
Yeah.
And then you have to like choose. It's like, but do I still take
Catch
this
it?
Pokemon?
Do I
Am
catch that
do I catch
haunted?
this?
Yeah.
This weird freaky Pokemon.
Wow. Heck yeah.
Also, the things I love about like Pokemon, like mysterious Pokemon that like are rumored, but you're not sure if they exist. No one's sure they exist. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So there's got to be at least one of those in that, right? In
Yes.
this?
Yeah. And maybe it's this thing. Hey, I'm dreaming right now.
Dream big.
1 in 1,000 carts. It's a Switch game. Has that
Has
Pokemon
it?
in it, and
Yeah.
there's no other way to get it.
Digital downloads?
No.
What?
No.
That's cruel.
Yes.
And I love it.
So 1 in 1,000 carts has this Pokemon in it. You don't find out till near the end of the game.
If you have it or not.
Yes.
Oh man. I mean, I love stuff like that. Like kind of similar, but Clue, the movie?
Yeah.
When it went out in theaters, they gave different theaters a different final reel.
Yeah.
It had different endings.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't see all the endings until the VHS. So people would be like, man, I can't believe this guy did it. And someone's like, wait, what?
Yes.
I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Maybe it's even like 1 in 10,000, just so people think it's fake.
Right.
So somebody has it. I have this Pokemon, and nobody believes you.
So like when I was at school, in elementary school, and I had seen the deleted octopus scene from Goonies somehow, and no one at school believed me.
Yes.
I don't even know how I saw it. Disney Channel or something? I don't know how I saw it. But I saw this octopus, and no one believed me.
Right.
You want to manufacture that for these kids.
I do. I want to make
Love it.
a mythical Pokemon.
I think it should not be part of any promotional materials.
Definitely not,
No
no.
one should ever mention this.
Yes.
At Nintendo or
I
Game
think
Freak.
though, like we might go to major cities and like disperse drawings of it.
Sure. There's an ARG. Mm-hmm. There's an ARG leading up to Pokemon in conjunction with Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's just like a built-in ARG machine. And certain places you can see like whiffs of this creature.
Yeah.
But it's like if you see it, it like runs away immediately.
Oh, yeah.
And then like no one knows what it is.
If you try to capture it on your phone, it like deletes your memory.
Yeah. It bricks your phone.
Yes. This Pokemon bricks your phone. Yes. It's in the description.
And that's the news story. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this is devious. I like it. Okay. But okay, so back to the basic journey of this game. Like is it basics? Like is it open world? Is it like you follow this named road and you know that you catch these on this road to the next village? Or is it like pure open world, you can go wherever you want?
I think it's super hard to balance a pure open world. You can go wherever you want. I guess we can do it. Nah, there's going to have to be gates. I'm afraid there just has to be gates at some point. Otherwise, like, and I think this is where like a lot of RPG designers struggle is like you can just get too strong.
Yeah.
And so like let's say we struggle really hard, but then get this Pokemon who's awesome and like level 50. It's like, oh, we're set then.
Right.
And so like I think we'll have to gate it at points.
Especially in a game like Pokemon where there's an element of chance with catching.
But I like the idea of climbing ranks, and it's something that the show does that the games don't really. In the games, you go to the Elite Four, it's just 4 really hard fights, and then you fight somebody else after that. The show has a tournament.
Right.
The game.
Wait, no game ever had that?
The tournament at the end?
Yeah.
No.
What?
It's been the Elite Four every single time.
Really?
Yes.
The show is so different than the games
Yes.
then.
Yeah.
Also, I just heard that Ash Spoilers for the show. He
Spoilers
just
for the
won
show.
for the first time ever?
Yeah.
Never won before?
Never won before.
What an amazing show.
Yeah.
It's been going for like 30 years. Man.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I want that.
Yeah.
I want a tournament.
Yeah.
I want a tournament arc inside
I
of this video
assumed
game.
that some of the games had a tournament.
No.
This is amazing information to me.
And so they'll do stuff like it. They'll do like, battle coliseums, battle scenarios, or battle trees and things like that kind of feel like a tournament. They even have brackets and things like that. But none of that ever feels like it exists within this world. It never feels like it has the stakes of people caring about it within this world.
You know what would be cool? Is if like somewhere early to mid game, there's like the minor leagues tournament.
Yeah.
And like whatever placement you get in that league, like for real, any placement affects how the rest of the game plays out for you. Like if you get too low, you have to like do practice stuff and then try again on that league or something. If you get like 4th or 5th or whatever, you're okay. People have heard of you in the game and they're like, "Oh, yeah, hey, you did all right." But like if you get like first, like the big corporation or whoever like wants to sponsor you.
Then you have new struggles.
And you have different struggles.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Would that work? Would it be I mean, like that much branching in a Pokemon game seems a little new.
We'd have to have Souls-esque saving.
Sure. Yeah. Constant autos. Every time you do anything, it saves.
Yes. And so like that would ruin the game for a lot of people. A lot of people like to like have a save and then go back to it and go back to it and go back to it.
Yeah.
Especially before a boss fight.
Girl, you've already ruined this game for most people by the
Yes.
don't gotta catch them all mythos.
So I'm like actually way cool with like just autosaves.
Yeah.
Just autosave nonstop. Heck yeah. Deal with the consequences of your decisions.
This is a dramatically different Pokemon game. And I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I like this.
I mean, what's funny is that I would keep 4 moves per Pokemon. I would keep leveling up. I would keep like a lot of the stuff same. I would actually, I wouldn't change too much like about like the actual way the game plays, which is funny.
And I imagine it still takes place within the same universe.
It's a ton of baggage at this point. So when I said like it's disappointing when you find out Pokemon's answers, so there's a Pokemon named Arceus who made everything. It is the god of all of us, humans and Pokemon.
Oh.
And it's a Pokemon. You can capture it and teach it moves and it will level up.
But it's God?
But it is God. It is the god of gods.
They have truly run out of ideas.
And this happened, this was like 10 years ago they made Arceus.
Was it before or after Guzzlord? Destroyer of worlds or whatever he is.
Before Guzzlord.
This is... They just like went... They have a real like power ranking problem, you know? It's like any game that goes on for too long, this happens.
Or
like
anime.
Magic the Gathering, anime, whatever. Like a card or a monster from right now, if it fought like the worst, scariest thing in season 1, it would just like sneeze at it and it would explode.
Yeah. So I don't want to deal with the world that Arceus created. So I'm almost willing to do reboot. I'm almost willing to say like I'm going back to that concept art I saw for Pokemon Red and Blue.
You could like. Oh, I just had a weird idea. You find a Starmie or a Staryu in the beginning of the game, and that crazed scientist.
Yeah. Okay.
I just had a wild idea. Okay.
There you go.
So he's I think positioned as the villain of the game is this crazed scientist who exists in like the Pokemon Yellow world.
Sure.
Finds a Starmie. That was in original, right? Yeah. And says like, this came from outer space? Like, this is crazy. Like, what's the deal? And like starts conducting experiments and accidentally like tears a portal in reality and goes into another dimension or whatever. And so then he's in this new dimension that has no baggage from the other thing.
Yeah.
And like starts this corporation with his knowledge of this stuff, but he's still like kind of wackadoo.
Yeah.
And so we're in this whole other reality and things are like a little different and weird.
Yes.
And like you think he's the bad guy the whole time and maybe there's like some kind of twist where he's like not. But yeah, I don't know. That could be cool.
And so in this game, there are 148 new Pokemon, but there's still Starmie and Staryu.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Those are the only
They're
two
the only
Pokemon.
two.
Yes.
And you don't understand why at first.
Yes.
And like no one explains it in the promotional materials.
Yes. They're like, why those? Why?
Why those two? Why not Pikachu?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
and
that's
like
so
this
good.
guy keeps like talking about these other Pokemon, and people are like, "What?"
But you as the player know who they are. Yeah, that's so fun.
Maybe he like misses them.
Yeah.
He like misses the old reality, and he had like a Pikachu, and he's like, "Oh man," and he's like trying to create them,
Yeah.
and it gets really dark and weird.
Well, that's the other. There's so much like fun Pokemon stuff to explore because some are created.
Right.
Porygon is created,
Yeah.
but like nobody asks why or where. They
And,
just like,
like-
oh well, we made it. It's out there.
And
Breed
they
it.
and then they stopped.
Yeah.
Right? Like they
Yes.
didn't just make another one.
No.
Well, I'm confused on Mewtwo.
Okay.
Was he
Yeah.
made in a lab?
Yes.
Okay.
Mewtwo is made in a lab
Okay.
off the genes from Mew.
From Mew.
Yes.
So there are a few other ones that are like genetic freak experiments.
Yeah.
Okay. But still, yeah. So this guy's doing stuff like that, like freaky weird stuff maybe.
Yeah.
This is a fun game.
Yeah.
And that's the justification for why you don't got to catch them all, cuz the whole mentality around Pokemon in this dimension is slightly different.
Yes.
You don't try to catch all of them. You try to catch the ones you want, and then you really focus on training them up
Yes.
for these tournaments.
Yeah. It's this kind of like shifted perspective. I don't think you're even called a Pokemon master, right? Like the idea is you are lucky to have the attention of these Pokemon.
Right.
They want to battle.
Only certain people can do it.
Yes. And so it's like
If they have midichlorians.
it's like the relationship. Can we put that in there?
George?
It's like a boxing coach, right? Like boxers can't do their thing without having a boxing coach.
Right.
But it's like the story isn't about them necessarily.
Right.
It's like it's that. It's like
The boxer still has their own life.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you are lucky to be coaching these Pokemon.
Are there Pokeballs in this game?
Ooh, are you thinking no?
I'm thinking, judging by that statement, like where you're a coach,
Yeah.
you're called a Pokemon coach,
Yeah.
maybe, and like these are your friends.
Yeah. They wander outside the ball, yeah. So we have these environments and yeah, we just have like this whole squad with us.
Dude, yeah, they follow you like an old school. Except I think it'd be fun if they follow you 2x2 instead of a single long line.
Oh, I like the 2x2.
So like you're the vanguard, and then it's up to 6, 2, 2, 2.
And I always want to have factors. Like I want there to be two Pokemon who would never walk next to each other. in the
Sure,
2x2s.
yes.
So you have to decide which of those two you really want.
Yeah, or if they're types,
Yeah.
like a fire type and a water type can't walk in the formation next to each other because they just irritate each other to be close.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you do have to think of your team's composition in terms of personality types as well.
And I'm thinking like Suikoden too, where it's like you get certain like combo bonuses if they're in positions, but I know that's not how the fights work. But like, yeah. Oh man. And then like the cool thing about that is walking around, it's like a pride thing in this universe because not everybody gets to be a Pokemon coach.
Yes.
So like people will see your Pokemon gang
Yeah.
and they'll be like, wow, you've got a Barbados? Like that's crazy. Like oh man, I used to try to be a coach, but I didn't have what it took, like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I want them to appreciate the work that we put in for sure. But yeah,
Yeah.
they are. I don't know. It's funny. Like they think right, but they don't talk to us. But
Right.
like they love this adventure we're on.
I think it'd be really cute if the Pokemon like occasionally talk to each other. Like you can tell they're talking to
Yes.
each other.
Yeah.
You never know what they're saying.
I would love that too.
That'd be just so cute and funny.
Yeah.
And like they're voiced.
Yeah, and I mean, like, oh man, you can't do this with the 150. Maybe we could. There'd just be a lot of repeated animations. But like, you get to a new area, like, I want them to rush to a cliffside and like be enamored by like just the view that they have.
That could be super cute cutscenes, yeah.
Yeah, but
That'd be
like,
great.
Yeah,
I would love that moment.
I can't imagine doing that 150 unique animations for that. So maybe
Oh,
they all
yeah.
just kind of like wander up, mouth open, and then just look left to right. But yeah,
You could probably, if you could differentiate it like a little bit, you could have like 4 different animations based on how, like height and size for the Pokemons.
Sure,
like all
yeah.
the small ones will do like, whoa, and all the big ones will go, oh.
yeah, okay,
Or
Yes.
whatever.
Yes,
Yeah.
then
That
I
could be
want that.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a dream though.
Right.
150
Oh,
unique.
you're right. I'm dreaming.
Yeah.
Dreaming. Yes. And so when we're in a cave, like some are cowardly.
Yes.
Yeah. And
I
some
love
have a
that.
harder time fighting in caves, and like some have like a really good time fighting in caves.
Yeah, I want there to be like slightly more detailed Pokedex entries that you actually have to like pay attention to a little bit.
Yeah, I like this.
Like where it's like scared of caves, and it's like if you have to go to a cave level, you have to like leave your Barbados at the door with like a carrot while you go in with 5.
Yeah.
You know? That'd be awesome. That kind of stuff.
Unless you go through the story mission with
Right.
the Barbados where you earn its trust and then it's cool with caves.
Yeah.
Yes.
You like exposure train it to caves.
Yeah. Right, like you go through this whole kind of story thing, and it ends with like a horrible creature fighting you in the cave, but then
Yeah.
you overcome that, and
Yeah.
then it's cool with caves for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This could be a fun game.
Yeah.
Also, making 150 different loyalty missions would be so hard.
Yeah.
But hey, dream.
Well, also, yeah, and it's like evolutions too. So, like, when you evolve a Pokemon, I think I want it to be more than just it leveled up to a certain level.
Right. Okay.
Like, I want it to have gone through an experience. Again, this is kind of like an inspiration from the show.
Yeah.
They don't just kind of like level up for nothing on the
It's
show.
more like-
always just
it's like-
driven to something.
It's like the D&D milestones rule instead of
Yes.
experience.
Yeah.
It's like you do their story missions, and maybe you don't unlock the story missions until you have a certain amount of experience, just so
Yeah.
that there is some kind of
That I like.
progression gating.
Yeah.
But yeah, that could be cool. And
Right.
I want there to be like secret like stuff you can discover with those kinds of things too, you know. And like super late game, like you thought that this Pokemon was maxed out or something, but then there's like, oh, if you did this and this, you can do
yeah.
their secret final mission. You know,
Yes.
that'd be super cool.
Yeah, and even like small changes, right? Like I just think it would mean something to you if like they have like claws.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just like it doesn't evolve, but now it's just got like extra long claws or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, and it gets a 5th move.
Yes. The 5th move. And
It's
again-
always just claws.
Yeah. No, I mean like ice skin maybe. Like
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I mean? There's
yeah.
like new skins or something like that. It's not evolution necessarily, but it's just got modified.
You know what'd be really cool?
Huh.
Is if the first mission for a Pokemon is like overcoming its fear.
Yeah.
And then the final mission is like owning that fear. So you get like some kind of thing related to the thing you used to be afraid of. So it's like a
Yes.
true evolution.
Yes.
So it's like the one that was afraid of the cave gets a move where it like shrouds everything in darkness, and because it's not afraid anymore, it has
Yeah.
an edge, you know?
Yes.
Stuff like that.
Oh, I love that.
That could be really, and like kind of emotionally cool, yeah.
It just becomes this darkness. Yeah.
Yeah.
And freaks everyone out. I love that.
Yeah. But lots of towns, different towns,
Not a lot,
but like
different towns.
8 or whatever, like
Yeah,
same number.
Exactly,
as,
like same number. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
One thing that I love about Red and Blue is that there's the power plant that you can totally miss.
Right, yeah.
So optional areas as well that are actually like
I
interesting.
love optional areas
yes.
in games.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll have
Love
lots
them.
of optional areas.
Very cool. And I imagine like the same kind of tropes where it's like eventually you get Fly, eventually you get
Yeah,
Chop.
H&Ms are tricky because that's gating. That's how they
Yeah,
gate
yeah.
basically is they make sure that you get to this point in the story and that you have this many badges. They
Right,
combine that
right.
two into one gate. And so, no, I don't want to do that.
If we go back to the tournament ranking thing,
Uh-huh.
based on how well you perform in the various, like, let's say there are 4 big tournaments and like a few other gyms and everything too.
Yeah.
But like, and then they culminate in the 4 tournaments. Based on rankings, maybe you get different kinds of stuff like that.
Sure.
Different like player moves.
Yeah. So what they did in Sun and Moon is they basically gave you a Pokemon that will only do this one thing. So here's a Charizard that will only fly. You can't use it in battle. It's just going to come and pick you up whenever you want it. And that was just
like
their-
you call
it
them
on the phone, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so
they're
that was
doing that
just-
in this one, kind of. Well, no, you have that bird that
for the
becomes
bird.
a taxi,
Right, yeah.
But it all is also that, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think like that's just their quick solution to that. And I would like it to mean more like, oh man, I've been waiting to get through that gate and now I totally can.
Yeah.
That means something every time.
That's a hard one.
It could be like a class system.
How do you mean, like a player class?
No, I mean like poorer classes aren't allowed in these areas.
Oh, that kind of class.
Yes. That's
So
my
wait,
best idea.
do you
there.
pick that? Wait, how does that factor into, like, do you pick a start, like, is it like Cyberpunk where it's like you're a street kid, a corporate, or a
No, like you're a street kid no matter what.
oh
You got to work your way up. And
so
so those
unless
are the gates.
so unless you like totally smash at that tournament,
yeah.
you don't have enough clout to get in.
Yeah.
Brutal.
To this town. Like this
Yeah.
town will not let you in.
the rich fancy town won't let you in or whatever.
And
unless
it could be
you
money,
won
but
that.
it could also be like badges. It could be Pokemon experience. It's like, oh, sorry, this is for elites only.
Well, the Eevee does that, like with the Victory Road or whatever. It's like you can get to certain points based on how many badges. Like they literally say like, oh, sorry, you don't have this badge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's in the games already, so that would work.
Maybe something like that. It's just hard for me to imagine a town whose economy thrives where they just say people can't come here because you don't have enough money. I don't know. But something. There's gating. There's some sort of gating. I don't want it to be as arbitrary as just like, here is a move that your Pokemon can now do. But
yeah. It's kind of, I mean, I'm playing through Link's Awakening right now. It's kind of nice when you're like, oh, I got this move now, and you're like your mind comes to life with all the places that you've seen that thing you couldn't do before, and now you're like, oh, I think it would be better if it was quick, like, you know, you didn't have to like go into a menu obviously to like do the chop move.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there are some parts in Eevee Let's Go Yellow where that person at like the gatehouse was like, oh man, I need this item, and if you give me this item, I'll let you through.
Yeah. He's
like,
thirsty.
Cute, yeah, thirsty. Yeah. Cute little RPG things like that could happen still.
Okay. Yeah, that still works.
And like, I mean, if we are doing the like different ranking at a tournament gives you different things. Like, if you got first at that tournament, you can just walk into the convenience store and some guy's like, oh hey, and gives you a bunch of free stuff.
You have no idea how bad I want this. This is one of my biggest wants.
Yeah, like people know you.
Yes.
And like give you things.
Yeah.
But like winning these tournaments is hard.
Yeah.
And then like, if you got like third, they're like, oh, hey, how you doing? But you still have to buy everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in Pokemon Black and White 2, it's really funny. They have this whole movie studio.
Oh, okay.
And you make movies with your Pokemon. And there's a director who's like, okay, now give me something splashy. And then you actually like choose from your 4 attacks.
Oh, funny.
I really like it. It's one of my like favorite like side missions.
That's funny.
And so like it all like culminates with you making this movie and making a big movie like deal, and your Pokemon's a movie star, and they're like, oh, you're a star. And then for the rest of the game, no one cares.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah. And so this is what I want. And even like when you're a champion, very rarely is anyone ever just like, oh my God, we all care about Pokemon more than anything else in this world.
Right.
Obviously, we know who the champion is, and it's you. It's so nice to see you.
Yeah.
And we're just like, hi, welcome. It's like,
I'm honored to meet you. Yeah.
don't you know who I am? And so I would love that.
In Let's Go Eevee, I think once you win the game, they start calling you Pokemon Master or whatever, right? Don't they?
I didn't play through.
Oh, I thought they did. Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought I remembered that, but like, yeah.
I want it to have an impact on the world. If the game continues after the credits, like I want the world to have changed because you would now have risen to the status that you desired before.
And like several times throughout the game, yeah. Because I'm trying to think the first game that I remember that happening, maybe Morrowind, where after you win, they say like they call you whatever, like savior or whatever. I don't remember. Well, this sounds like a fun, weird game. Anything else? Any other thoughts you had about it?
Man, I've just had so many thoughts over the years.
I want to hear all of them.
I think we went through most of them. I think we hit most of the things that are my true desires for my dream Pokemon game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't need to have a crazy story, but it just needs to have craziness.
Yeah. Okay. Last time I did a second episode with Damiani about the nightmare version of Pokemon. Mm-hmm. I think right now we'll just tack it on here.
Oh, okay.
What would be your nightmare Pokemon game? Just kind of just spitballing it real quick.
Okay, so nightmare Pokemon game is there's like 1,200. There's 1,500 Pokemon.
Every Pokemon ever.
Yeah, there's every single Pokemon is every area you could ever dream of. It's got everything.
You're describing most people's dream Pokemon.
I know, and so, like you don't realize what a nightmare this is.
Yeah.
And just like there's just so many modes. There's so many just like tickle the Pokemon to make it level up. It's just like so many just like take a picture of here. Yeah. I'm sorry?
Bloat.
There's just so much bloat. There's just so much like stupid. Oh, there's like every Pokemon has like 30 stats that are all hidden and you just have to infer them. Or you can go to this one person in this one town who will say like, oh, your hidden ATP is yellow, and you're like, oh, okay, that means that I need to feed you this amount of berries, or that means I need to release this Pokemon. And there's a button, just like any Pokemon in your party, it's like the second option. So you like go to your Pokemon, you select it, and it's like release this Pokemon. You're like, no, I'm just checking its stats. And so like it's designed for people who just love to make eggs and just love to just like most of the game is making eggs. And so once you get to the second town, you like learn to make eggs. And basically there's just like a menu. It's just like 15 pages long of like all of the eggs that you've made in the last 15 minutes. So you make one egg per minute. And so then like you just take those eggs and just basically there's like a racetrack where you just go around the racetrack and loop and loop and loop until your egg hatches. And so like it's
or there's Pokemon Go connectivity and you can hatch them by walking actual miles in real life.
Yes. Yeah. And so it's just basically that. There's a lot of connectivity with Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
And it's basically that it's and so
they try to do everything.
Yes. Yeah. And there is a big world-ending Pokemon that is threatening the entire world. There's like it happens 3 different times.
You beat one and then you're like,
yeah.
But wait, that was not the real Guzzlord.
Mega Arceus is coming. Yeah. God gets mad at you and then you catch God and you put it in your PC and the stats aren't good enough, so you release it.
But then he's like, holds a grudge that you released him and he's like, it's a complex and like tries to destroy the world again. You just catch him again. You just throw him in a box in the corner.
Yeah. My nightmare.
Okay. Wow. Well, yeah, that sounds pretty bad. All right, well, that was awesome.
That was fun.
Thank you, Kyle. Yeah, I enjoyed that. And it's funny because, like, when you were describing your nightmare thing, like, ATX, eggs, I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because I basically had the beginning experience. So it's really funny that there's all this other stuff I don't even know about. But I guess I'll find out more in Sword and Shield.
Yes.
Coming out in, like, November? When's
somewhere between A Nightmare and a Dream.
Yeah.
I think the 15th. I think it's November 15th.
November 15th.
Yeah.
What a sale. What a back of the box quote.
Yeah.
Somewhere between a dream and a nightmare.
I think it's be closer to Dream.
Oh yeah.
To be fair, I think it's be closer to Dream.
We'll see. I mean, I think I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, thanks, Kyle. Thank you, everyone at home. What would your dream Pokemon game be, or your nightmare Pokemon game, if you want to go that way? Let us know in the comments.
And what should the next dream be? Who should you pull in for more dreams?
Yeah. Next week, hopefully, if all goes as planned, we've got another thing planned.
Oh, okay.
But I do like this series. I really do. And like I think, talking to Huber or whoever about their dream games.
Yeah.
I'm definitely. So that's a good point. If you have a good pairing with an ally to a dream, let me know what you think that should be, because I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. Good night and good game.